Readings of Agrippa. Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. Today we are reading the 3 Books of Occult Philosophy by Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, Book 1, Chapter 14. And this is dealing with the spirit of the world spirit. Of the spirit of the world, what it is and how by way of medium it unites occult virtues to their subjects. So, as I always say, this book was really important in the 16th century, and it helps us to have an understanding of at least this particular stream of Renaissance magic. So the world, the universal spirit. In Renaissance magic and in alchemical thought, it was believed that all things had a body, soul, and spirit. So the body clearly is the physical matter. The soul was seen as the consciousness, the conscious awareness that moved the body. But the soul and the body were seen as so opposed or so different that it needed an intermediary substance, which in this case is the spirit. The spirit is kind of like the life force or the energy. So, as we see in Plato's Timaeus, the universe was seen as a living being. This is classical Platonism. The universe, we go back to Plato's Timaeus, the universe was seen as a living organism, the whole cosmos. And the cosmos had a world soul or universal soul and universal spirit. So this really is a pagan, Platonic, Greek philosophical idea of a universal soul, a universal spirit, which goes back to classical Greek philosophy, which was very important in Agrippa's Renaissance magic in the 16th century. So, roughly speaking, the spirit of the world, or the universal spirit, as seen as kind of a universal life force energy, a universal energy that connects things. So, I'm going to read the chapter in a second. But I'm just explaining that the idea of how do I talk to a spirit that's somewhere off in the cosmos? How's it going to hear me? Because of this intermediary energy. This energy connects all things. So you're able to make communications. You're able to draw down astrological forces into a sigil or into a scrying stone. It's all done because we are all interconnected, because we are all imbued with the same universal spirit of all life. So let's jump to the text itself. Once again, we're reading the 3 Books of Occult Philosophy, Book 1, Chapter 14. And if you want to buy a copy, I really like this compact version. If you want to read along with me, I've provided a link. And the links are monetized, so I do get a small commission there. It helps to support my channel. But if you want to buy a copy, I provide a link. So, Chapter 14. Of the spirit of the world, what it is, and how by way of medium it unites occult virtues to their subjects. So we're getting little tastes of Renaissance magic from the 16th century. So once again, we have the material world of stones and plants and animals and metals, minerals, and these are receptacles to the astrological forces. So what unites a planet or a star and a stone? It's the universal spirit, according to Agrippa. So, chapter 14 of the spirit of the world, or universal spirit. The spirit of the world, what it is, and how by way of medium it unites occult virtues to their subjects. Democritus and Orpheus, and many Pythagoreans, having most diligently searched into the virtues of celestial things and natures of inferior things. So they were contemplating the astrological and the material things, said that all things are full of God, and not without cause. For there is nothing of such transcending virtues, which being destitute of divine assistance, is content with the nature of itself. Also, they called those divine powers, which are diffused in things, gods, which Zoroaster called divine allurements, Synesius, symbolical enticements. Others called them lives, and some also souls, saying that the virtues of things did depend upon these. So basically, what makes a stone or a plant powerful, according to Agrippa, is these celestial and divine powers. Some have called these powers that exist in things that are solar or lunar or Venusian. Some would say that they are gods and goddesses. Some would say they're divine allurements. Synesius, symbolical enticements, because you're enticing these powers into things. Others called them lives, and some souls, because when you create a talisman, you're calling down. It's like the soul to the body when you imbue a talisman. So Democritus and Orpheus and many Pythagoreans, having most diligently searched into the virtues of celestial things and natures of inferior things, said that all things are full of God, and not without cause. For there is nothing of such transcending virtues, which being destitute of divine assistance is content with the nature of itself. Also they called those divine powers, which are diffused in things, gods, which Zoroaster called divine allurements, Synesius, symbolical enticements. Others called them lives, and some also souls, saying that the virtues of things did depend upon these, because it is the property of the soul to be from one matter extended into diverse things, about which it operates. So is a man, who extends his intellect unto intelligible things, and his imagination unto imaginable things. And this is that which they understood when they said, that is, that the soul of one thing went out, and went into another thing, altering it, and hindering the operations of it. So that the spiritual nature that you call into a stone or plant, it empowers or hinders. As the diamond hinders the operation of the lodestone, that it cannot attract iron. Now, seeing the soul is the first thing that is movable, and as they say, is moved of itself. But the body, or the matter, is of itself unable and unfit for motion, and doth much degenerate from the soul. Therefore they say there is need of a more excellent medium. So here it's talking about how the spirit is set up as an intermediary between the soul and the body. Okay, and you could also say when you imbue a talisman, this universal spirit is the connecting link between the physical and spiritual forces that you're uniting. So again, this idea in Renaissance alchemy and magic that the spirit or universal life force connects the soul and the body. Some would say it's like Qing, Qi, and Shen, that it's similar. So anyways, so between the soul and the body, that there was need of a more excellent medium, that is, such as one as may be as it were no body, but as it were a soul, or as it were no soul, but as it were a body, so something in between the soul and the body, that is, by which the soul may be joined to the body. Now they conceive such a medium to be the spirit of the world, or the universal spirit, the spirit of the world. That is, that which we call the quintessence. Quint, in this case, means five, the fifth essence, quintessence. So, like you have earth, air, fire, and water, the fifth element is what it's talking about, spirit, the quintessence. Because it is not from the four elements, but a certain first thing, having its being above and besides the four. It's the fifth element, spirit. There is therefore such a kind of spirit required to be, as it were, the medium, whereby celestial souls are joined to gross bodies. Again, this is the act of magic. You're calling down the spiritual forces to imbue the body of the talisman. And this is the medium. This is like the glue that does that, is the universal spirit. So, this spirit is after the same manner in the body of the world. Okay, there is therefore such a kind of spirit required to be, as it were, the medium, whereby celestial souls are joined to gross bodies, and bestow upon them wonderful gifts. This spirit is after the same manner in the body of the world as ours in the body of man. For as the powers of our soul are communicated to the members of the body by the Spirit, so also... My timing went out for a second. So also the virtue of the soul of the world is diffused through all things by the quintessence. For there is nothing found in the whole world that hath not a spark of the virtue thereof. So it's found everywhere. This universal, all-pervading spirit or life energy is found everywhere. So it looks like my connection is acting up. I hate when that happens during these lives. Okay, yet it is more, nay, most of all, infused into those things which we have received, and taken in most of this spirit. Now this spirit is received or taken in by the rays of the stars, so far forth as things render themselves conformable to them. By this spirit, therefore, every occult property is conveyed into herbs, stones, metals, and animals, through the sun, moon, planets, and through the stars higher than the planets. Now this spirit may be more advantageous to us, if anyone knew how to separate it from the elements, or at least to use those things chiefly which do most abound with this spirit. For these things, in which this spirit is less drowned in a body, and less checked by matter, do more powerfully and perfectly act, and also more readily generate their like. For in it are all generative and seminary virtues, for which cause the alchemists endeavor to separate this spirit from gold and silver, which being rightly separated and extracted, if thou shalt afterward project upon any matter of the same kind, that is, any metal, presently will turn it into gold or silver. And we know how to do that and have seen it done. But we could make no more gold than the weight of that was, out of which we extracted the spirit. For seeing that it is in an extense form and not intense, it cannot beyond its own bounds change an imperfect body into a perfect, which I deny not, but may be done by another way. So that is chapter 14. So once again, the universal spirit is like a universal energy. It's not earth, fire, water, or air. It's not one of the four elements of earth, air, fire, and water. It's a fifth element. It's all pervading. It is that which unites the soul and body in the universe, just as it does within our own selves. So this universal spirit is what conveys the powers of the stars and planets. It's found within the sun. It's found within the planets and astrological bodies, and which is communicated down into plants and stones and metals. And it's this universal spirit that makes it where we can contact an entity or spirit in some other part of the universe and make contact and communicate. It's this spirit which allows us to draw down and connect these different things. So this all-pervading, because we're all within this same universal life breath or spirit, that we're able to do the workings of magic. So that at least is what Cornelius Agrippa said in the 16th century in his 3 books of occult philosophy. So that is chapter 14 on the universal spirit, or the quintessence. So we're working through this bit by bit. And, yep, we're going through this. These are little tidbits of Renaissance magic. So thank you so much for, Laida says in Espanol. Hola Laida, ¿cómo estás? Si necesito hacer más contenido en español también. Buen día, pero el tema es que ya no tengo un montón de gente viendo mi contenido que habla en español, pero necesito hacer eso. Necesito hacer como un horario o algo que tal vez los fines de semana. Pero tienes razón. Muchas gracias por ver mi video, Laida. Y tienes razón, necesito hacer más contenido en español también. Y muchas gracias por ver mi video. So I was just responding to Laida. She wants me to do more content in Spanish, which I will start doing. I need to start doing more videos in Spanish. But anyway, so that's it for today, sirs and madams. And I'm going to have more videos coming out for y'all. So thank you so much for joining me. And I will see y'all in the next video. Have a great day, y'all.